I would like to show you some of my favorite energizing sativa cannabis products. I'm Katherine Goldberg. Welcome back to Senior Savvy. For the sake of nomenclature and being on the same page, I am going to refer to sativa as cannabis that's high in terpinolene, in pinene, and limonene. Um, I did an episode on the neurochemistry of terpenes and how different terpenes create different effects. But when we look at terpinolene, pinene, and limonene, we're talking about dopamine, we're talking about epinephrine, we're talking about action. Okay, so we have all talked about why it's hard to find energizing sativas at the dispensaries, but there are some options. Um, Besides just the plant, it's important to note one other fact that I think people miss. When the plant, regardless of what kind of plant it is chopped, that's going to partially determine the effect. So there's clear trichomes, milky trichomes, and amber trichomes. And when plants are cut on the more clear side of the spectrum, those plants are more energetic. So they have a feeling of being more energetic. So when you're growing at home, you actually have a great deal of control. And you can even do cuttings when one part is clear, you wait, the other is a little bit milky, and then you wait, and then you have an amber, and then you can really see the whole spectrum across one single plant. Um, I don't grow personally. I work with people who grow the long flowering sativas that I love, and I'm thankful for that. It really is the best option for me personally. But I want to talk about two products that I'd like to kind of compare and contrast, um, just for the sake of debate. So I have found a phenomenal sativa product that I have not found anything like it in my 12 years of working in cannabis, doing cannabis, consuming cannabis in California. And that is the RSO tablet. So I don't love RSO because it's like, it's like sticky and kind of annoying if it gets on your fingers and stuff. But these sativa tablets are amazing. I take one in the morning with my coffee and I feel great. What's interesting is that because it's RSO, the whole plant was used fresh, which means that includes the terpenes, the flavonoids, all of it. Okay, Bear wants to say hi. This is Bear. Okay. What's interesting also is that a lot of edibles, like gummies, are made with a distillate, with THC only, and then they say sometimes that they add in terpenes, but you can't add in terpenes and have that be like used in your brain because it goes through digestion and they're broken down, which is why inhaled cannabis works a lot better for some people. So what's interesting about the RSO is that I think it locks in the terpenes so that even when you're taking it as a pill, it's not broken down. And I want to compare this to another product that I used to use and was very happy with. I'm not happy with it, but it's these Boost Pro tabs. So this is made from THC, THCV, and CBG isolate. So the plant has been taken apart and then put back together. This is very energizing and it does very much suppress appetite, but I never felt like sated after I took one of these pills. It was always like, can I smoke more? Can I have more? Can I do something else? And when I take one of the RSO pills, I'm sort of like, I'm good for the day. I feel great. I'm good. Um, and I think that's the difference, to be perfectly honest, between whole plant and isolate. And I think there's room for both of them, to be perfectly honest. But I'm thrilled to know that products like these that are not gummies are taking off in the market. And one thing that I've mentioned before that I'll mention once again is that when you smoke weed, whether it's a joint, a pipe, a bong, whatever, the combustion is going to make it more sedating. because of the carbon monoxide that's produced. So if you have a sativa strain and you have a little bit in a dry herb vaporizer and you have a little bit in a pipe, then you're going to feel more energized from the dry herb vaporizer. And if you want to take that a step further, the with a dry herb vaporizer, low temperatures are your friend for sativas. Low. I'm talking 330, 340, 350. This is on the very, very low side, and you won't get a big cloud of vapor as if you're smoking a bong or a joint, but you'll feel energized and you'll feel clear-headed. And between the RSO pill and the dry herb vape with a sativa, I have found this Claiborne Classic Cut Durban Poison. The main terpene is terpinolene. That's all I wanted. Wasn't asking that much. What set it off, by the way, is that I was given some Durban poison that looked good and was grown well, but it was high in myrcene. So it was sedating and it's Durban poison. I don't want that. So between all of these things, I finally feel like I have a solid everyday cannabis routine that allows me to be the best version of myself. I understand a lot of people use cannabis to sleep, to chill out, um, to help relax. And that's why there's this whole spectrum of plant. There's options for everyone. And you can really start to customize it based on how you want to feel. Do you want to treat pain during the day? Or do you want to treat pain at night when you're going to go to sleep? Do you want to reduce anxiety during the day? Or do you want to reduce anxiety at night? Um, Different combinations of terpenes, different combinations of cannabinoids are all going to determine the cannabis effects. So I hope this is empowering. I hope it gives you confidence to try some new products, to maybe even consider trying RSO. I've taken it in the syringe before and it was too much for me. It was just too much. I didn't like it. I didn't like the consistency. But taking one of these pills every morning is easy, and I've just cut down on my cannabis consumption by such a huge amount, but I feel like I'm getting more out of it than I've ever gotten in my life. So that feels good. And I know I go crazy about this dry air vaporizer that like it's perfect. I'm like it's not the best on the market. It's the budget one. But it's been fabulous. I made another video about what I like about it, what I don't like as much, but I will be doing a Christmas giveaway for members, so you can win your own. And I do have a little water attachment piece to cool it down because I know the smoke gets a little bit much. Not smoke, but like the 330 degrees is still hot. So yeah, I'm thrilled that like I'm confident in directing my clients to dispensaries to get energizing, clear-headed weed without worrying that it's going to put them to sleep. Because that's what I'm looking for. And by the way, if you guys, wherever you live, I know we have people in Australia and the UK and Germany and of course all over the US. If there's a brand that consistently has good sativa, let me know because I'll reach out and thank them and maybe they'll come on the podcast and explain. Um, but yeah, I feel like this is a really good time to wrap up this question that I've been asking for almost 6 months. And just tell me what you guys want to learn next, and I'll do a deep dive in. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.